Hello everyone, hope you're doing well, and it's another Leeds United watch along this evening. Bournemouth against Leeds United, kickoff just 15 minutes away. The teams are on your screen. How you all doing? Thank you very much for joining me. I think there might be a small crowd tonight. I think this is what if I was a music artist, this is what I describe as intimate. It's an intimate performance. It's not really. It's no different to your usual performances. There's just not that many people here. That's really what it is, isn't it? Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, though. It's a proper watch along. This channel, it's not much commentary, a lot of interacting in the live chat, talking about the game, talking about what's going on. Obviously, Liam Vecino sacked by Chelsea today. We'll have a little discussion around that in the live chat as well throughout the evening. But kickoff just 13 minutes away at the Vitality. Plus, we've got Burnley taking on Manchester City at Turf Moor. A win for the Citizens puts them top of the league, and it's difficult to see anything other than a Manchester City win. Manchester City hiding. I think they're going to pump Burnley, send a message to Arsenal, forget it, absolutely forget it, no chance, because at the minute the goal difference is quite tight. There's only one goal difference between them, but City have scored more, so if it finishes equal on goal difference, if City win 1-0 they go top, but on goals scored rather than goals difference. But I think City are going to send a message which is you're not winning this on goal difference, you're not winning this title. I think Burnley could get a pasting this evening. Should be a decent game at Bournemouth, to be honest with you. A difficult one to call. What's Bournemouth now? 12, 13 games unbeaten in a row, but Leeds have stitched together some really good form. Got an FA Cup semi-final at the weekend to look forward to as well against that manager list, Chelsea. Anyway, let's have a little hello in the live chat. Hello to Ryan. As always, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Simon saying, Chelsea is a right clown show. They certainly are, but it's not necessarily bad news as a West Ham fan. Random P thinks Leeds are going to win this one 2-1. I would go 2-2. I think 2-2. I think it'll be an entertaining game, this one. And I'm going to say City do them. Give us your predictions. Give me both predictions in the live chat. Burnley, Man City, Bournemouth, Leeds, what we're reckoning. I'm going to say 2-2 at Bournemouth, and I'm going to say 5-0 Manchester City. I think they're going to pump them. Chris said, I've got 11 people watching and 12 likes. Listen, there's some generous people. Come on, like the video, and then fuck off. They think, hey, this looks good. Actually, no, it doesn't. I'm off. Hello, Robinson. Thank you very much for joining us. And Hlim saying, which team will you be rooting for? If Leeds are safe, West Ham will have the better chance to win when both teams meet in the final game. I'm actually rooting for Bournemouth. And let me explain the reasons why. It's not because I think West Ham can catch Leeds United. I think we could in the event we both stay up, but it's very unlikely. Leeds aren't going down, okay? So it's not. I don't want Bournemouth to win because I think Leeds could get relegated. The reason I want Bournemouth to win is because should Bournemouth win tonight, and then should West Ham United win on Saturday, we're only 3 points behind them. Now, Leeds have got a very easy fixture next weekend as they take on Burnley at Ellen Road, and that's a win, right? That Leeds are not going down. But what I want and what I possibly need as a West Ham fan is Leeds to, when they play Spurs, I need Leeds to win. And I think for that to happen, I think we need two things to occur. We need Leeds to get beat tonight, and I know they'll beat Burnley, but just let me have my thought process. Bournemouth to beat them tonight, and sorry Leeds fans, Chelsea to put them out the FA Cup at the weekend so they don't have an FA Cup final. I need Leeds to go full strength against Spurs. That's what I need. So what do I need to happen for that to occur? Bournemouth winning tonight. But I don't think, I'm going for the draw. Anyway, Random P is going 4-0 to Man City. Kerry reckons 1-0 Bournemouth and Man City to win 7-0. Dan surprised at the strong Leeds lineup. I am as well, a little bit, but they can still get relegated, can't they? Let's just say Leeds lost tonight. We win. We're 3 points behind them. Spurs win. 5 points behind them. 4 games to go after that. It wouldn't be squeaky bum time as such, but I think Leeds still feel like they might need another point or two to be safe. So I think that's why they're getting making sure they get something tonight. Ryan is going for Bournemouth 3, Leeds 3, and Burnley 0, Man City 3. Banana started a new career on FIFA. We have made a new West Ham club, not far off from happening in real life. Well, hope you're enjoying it. I don't have this year's edition. Random P has started getting my West Ham chat pop up on the feed. Do you have 2 channels? Yeah, that's the bigger channel. That's the channel with nearly 52,000 subscribers. This is the one with just over 9,000. That's my West Ham channel, and this is my non-West Ham channel. That's it. I did this video off the back of doing Hammer's chat, and I watch a lot of Premier League football, clearly, and I enjoy discussing it. And I'll be honest with you, I've never really had the stones to do my own channel, but a couple of people that I listen to and take advice from around me, people that you know, Charlie and Frankie, they encouraged me to create this channel, so I did it. And to be fair, I did it a few years ago, and I didn't really know what to do. I didn't really know how to do it, so I binned it off pretty quickly. But then this year I thought, right, I'm going to make a go of it. And truth be told, I started it at the very end of last season, the worst time ever to start a football YouTube channel. But the reason I did it is because I feared West Ham could be in trouble this season. So under Graham Potter, I thought we're going to be in a relegation battle next season. I was very confident we were going to be in a relegation battle. I didn't think we'd go down, but I thought we could go close. Now, I'm either going to be right or I'm going to be wrong and we do actually get relegated. But I can't be wrong and we're fine. So with that expectation, I thought I'm going to need to come up. So basically, Random P, you probably won't know, but doing YouTube is my job. So that West Ham channel is my job. So I thought I'm going to need to generate revenue somewhere else. So West Ham get relegated, I can keep doing this as my job. And that's why I started taking this channel a bit serious. And this season I've been taking it really serious. I think I've been quite consistent. But what I'm going to do is at the end of the season, I'm going to show everyone exactly. I'm going to do a video basically how many hours I've done on the channel this year, how many videos I've done, how many views I've got, and how much money I've earned doing this channel. I'm going to show you because it might encourage people to try and create a YouTube channel, but it also might give people a reality check and say, only do it if you're prepared for this, because I think it's better than some people think, but it's not as good as others think. I think there's a perception that if you do YouTube, you're minted, which is definitely not true. But also at the same time, I think there's a perception that it's impossible, which is not true. And I'm gonna do a video about it. I'm gonna show it up, and also I see other people do that kind of video and it does good views. So you never know, it might do 10,000 views or something. Right then, kick off. 5 minutes away. Avid's popping in to drop a like on video and then go away. See, he's what we were speaking about. He's the type of person that Chris was speaking about. Avid's a good person. He's a big supporter of the channel. Anyway, Ginger J reckons 1-1 at the Bournemouth game. Daniel reckons 2-2 at Vitality. I said 2-2 as well, Daniel. You may not have been around earlier when I said that. Simon saying, the more teams in the relegation battle, the better. Want Leeds not to lose focus on the Premier League. I completely agree with that one. Little Lady is going 2-1 Bournemouth and 4-0 Man City. I'd be very happy with those 2 results. Lou, I hope you are correct. I prefer your ones than my ones. Brian saying, he corrected it later. He said, you think you can have a watch along without the American? Fuck off. Yeah. I love Brian. Every week he does his predictions. He leaves a little sentence that makes me smile, and it's something along the lines of, you tell them, Scotsman, this American knows what he's talking about. And I actually hope he wins. I can read it out one day, because it does make me smile every week. Kerry saying, you've got good objective opinions with well-grounded views. Tartan is a quality channel. I subscribe to both. Well, that's much appreciated. Ginger J saying, Lennon and Gene Gallagher like one of his videos on Instagram. I love that. I absolutely love that. Sonny's here. Happy watch along surprise. Yeah, this one won't do good because there's no Spurs hate watch, but I don't want to be a Spurs hate watch channel. And I'm hoping West Ham can stay up because it'll be easier just to do Premier League content next season rather than flicking between Premier League and Championship. I'd rather focus specifically on one league. But for the rest of the season, I'll be doing watch-alongs, and it won't always involve the teams at the bottom. And then next season, I'm going to stick to do one watch-along every single weekend if we remain in the Premier League. What am I going to do if we go down? Fuck knows, I'll be honest with you. I've not come up with a plan yet. I've buried my head in the sand about it. I'll come up with a plan with Hammer's Chat. That's my priority and focus, and I think I've got a plan that will allow us to keep doing it as a job. But this one, I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. Wing it. Absolutely wing it. Third man run saying Leeds will have to lose all the remaining games to go down. I agree with that. I think there's a small chance you would stay up with 39 points, but if you get one more draw and get 40, yeah, you're fine. I agree with third man run. They'd have to lose them all, and that's being with a chance of going down. It still doesn't even guarantee the relegation. Barry would like Bournemouth to win, slap Leeds. They need it. Andy saying tough game for Leeds, going 2-1 Bournemouth. Ginger saying we should have combined 11 of the Bournemouth and Leeds team. See, well, we can do that. I need to get my widget sorted. Connor on One Leeds had a widget where he could combine the teams, and I don't have that widget, so I'm going to have to ask him to add it. Hopefully it doesn't put the price up. Connor saying at least you won't appear on those channel reactions. Yeah, I ignore them. I ignore them, Connor. I don't want to watch myself back. Ray, thank you very much. He's saying, I'm thinking of doing a YouTube channel on crypto. I'm not sure, as my time is limited with work. 16 months old and another one is on its way. Ray, I didn't know that there's another one on its way. Is this you announcing it? Unless you put it in the chat and I've missed it. I know Ray personally. We were in a group chat together. So unless he's put it in there and I'm not seeing it. But listen, Ray, thank you for the support. And best of luck with baby number 2. Christian's a Forest fan. He's confident Nuno's going to pick up enough points for West Ham. Hopefully. You are right. Ryan saying, don't worry, you'll be all right if we go down. Worst case scenario, and positive, you'll be all right. Funny enough, I was speaking to Gonzo earlier about what could happen if we go down. Connor, that's not my name. You know better, Connor. Yeah, you know better. Bloody autocorrect. Anyway, Kickoff, what we got? 2 minutes. It's just doing the teams at the minute. But for anyone unaware, the teams are on your screen. Leeds unchanged, I think, from the previous games. To be fair, only one change from Bournemouth, if I recall correctly. Brooks has come in to place Hyan. And I think that was the Leeds team that thumped Wolves. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Leeds are unchanged. And just one change from Bournemouth, despite it being a midweek game. Anyway. Iraola embracing Fark linked to the Chelsea job today. I'd be disappointed if he went to Chelsea. I think he's better than that. Do you agree? I don't think he should go to Chelsea. He's got to go back to Bilbao, hasn't he? I'd be surprised if he went to Chelsea. No need. No need for him to go there. Who they're going to get, though, I have no idea who they're going to get. But Liam Senior gone. Unsurprising. They were crap last night. Really bad. It was so comfortable for Brighton. Big win for Brighton, though, for European football. But Chelsea were absolutely honking at the Amex last night. Anyway, Kickoff just moments away. It's probably already underway. You're watching it on satellite, but I'm on my iPad with Sky Go Up, so there's a little bit of a delay. I apologise. Anyway, I'm sure people will keep me up to date with what's happening at Turf Moor. I do have notifications on, so it should pop up. But big game tonight. 2 big games tonight in the Premier League as Manchester City is trying to go top of the Premier League and Bournemouth in the race for European football. Leeds United could do with a point just to ensure Premier League survival. And maybe not Ray's other half's baby. Both the babies. But she's the one carrying it. They're having a boy. Congratulations. Is Gio on the shortlist? Have you considered calling the boy Gio? Just out of interest? Is it a contender? I'm manifesting it as a contender, Ray. Bob says I need a plan to break up. Well, don't worry, Bob. I got a plan. I've look, Bob. It is gone. It is gone. It's not been stolen. It is a way to get framed. And I will be buying shelves for that bit. I have identified the shelves. I will be purchasing the shelves soon. Thanks to... no, Connor, I've got 2. I'm prepared to sell the other one. The other one's hanging up in the wardrobe. I'm going to sell that one. If someone wants it. But no, that one's a way to get it framed up. So it'll be here very soon. And then I'll get my shelves. Thanks to Matt, Carl, and other generous people in the previous watch along. I know they technically said it's for the TV, but I'm going to wait for the TV because I don't know how to work it. Anyway, I am watching the game, I promise you. I am watching the game. It's there. Leeds have got a throw in at the minute with James Justin. I know they said it was for the TV, but I'm going to use it for shelves and get a TV soon because I don't know how easy it is to switch from... that's a good tackle by Jimenez on Goodmanson. Bournemouth coming forward here. They've got 3 up with him. He puts the cross in. That's well cut out by Biol. And Jimenez finds Tavernier. He's been in good form lately. He cuts it across and it's been cleared by Biol, and there's a throw in to Bournemouth. Yeah, I don't know how simple it is to switch from your... Because my Sky, we've got Sky Glass TV. So my Sky's through the broadband. So there's a satellite dish on the house, but we don't use it. So I was doing some Googling, and I believe I've got to switch my Sky subscription to Sky Q in order to get a box and to be able to use the satellite dish, which sounds like a palaver. But I'm going to ring them up at the end of the season, once I know what league we're in. Anyway, breaking play at the minute as Jimenez is down after getting his foot trod on. Irons, I've got a Sky Stream pack. I've got one. The reason I'm talking about switching is because of the delay. Obviously, when I'm watching it on with the pack or when I'm watching on the Sky Glasses, maybe what are we, about 20 seconds behind real time? What people see on satellite compared to what I see, there's about 20 seconds delay. And when I do this, people moan that I'm behind. People will say, "Oi, you're behind, you're behind." And I am aware I'm behind, but they feel like they need to tell me I'm behind. And the only way I can reduce that is by getting a TV and switching to a satellite thing. And yeah, I know, Ginger, but I'm not on my TV. I'm on Sky Go on the iPad, which is further behind. And there's a lag between me and you anyway. So if I clap, you hear and see it maybe 5-10 seconds later. So there's always going to be a lag. That's why I get stressed when people say, "Oh, you're behind." I think I'm always going to be behind. There's literally nothing I can do about it. Anyway, Ryan Christie gives it to Hill. There's been a goal at the Turf Moor as it's Burnley 0, Manchester City 1, Erling Haaland scoring. unsurprising. And it's taken them 5 minutes to go 1-0 up. I'll tell you what, I would love to see Arsenal fans' faces right now. I mean, imagine praying for Burnley of all teams to do something against Man City, and then they just go and score after 5 minutes. You're like, all right, okay, never mind. You're switching off, aren't you? You're switching off. Anyway, Okafor's doing well here. He's in good form at the minute, but it's a really good tackle by Hill. Ginger, do you mean favourite or the player that I rate the most? It's two different things. Whenever someone says, what's your favourite player, I always overthink it. I think, do you mean who I think is the best player or which ones I like the most? Not always the same thing. Biker says, don't worry about people moaning. I know, I'll try not to. It just gets a bit frustrating and stressful. And Ginger said, favourite and rate. Oh, right, okay. I should have known you would have said that. I've walked into that, haven't I? Bournemouth, the best. Probably Alex Scott. My favourite, and I'm going to exclude Ryan Christie because it's a bit obvious, isn't it? My favourite would be... It probably is Alex Scott, to be fair. I just like the way he plays. Although he's just giving the ball away there. For Leeds, the best... Maybe Ampadu. I think Ampadu, is the best player for Leeds. If there's a couple of Leeds fans still listening, I think Ampadu is probably their best player. My favourite player would be maybe Tanaka or Goodmanson. Maybe Goodmanson, actually. I like him. Ginger did his first ever live stream the other day. 300 is a big number. That's a big, big number. Mandit saying Hannibal must feel terrible leaving Man U. He was never good enough for Man U, so he's barely good enough for Burnley, isn't he? He's good enough for the Championship, but he's nowhere near good enough for the Premier League. Haaland nearly makes it 2-0 at City. Well, at Burnley, rather. Addington on the ball for Leeds United at the minute. And he's gone backwards. I mean, a point would be good for Leeds here. As Beal switched out to Bogle. He's had a really good season, hasn't he, Bogle? I think he's been really good. Really stepped up. And I think that's the most impressive thing with this Leeds team. Is a lot of them were playing in the Championship last season. And Purdue bringing down Alex Scott. One player I think that deserves an England call-up, Scott. I'm not sure he will go to the World Cup, but I think he deserves it. He's just a bit unlucky that England have got a lot of good players in that position at the minute. Wharton and Anderson, the obvious two, but Manu ahead of him in the pecking order as well. I think that's a bit harsh. I'm a big Manu fan. I think he's a lovely footballer, but was frozen out unfairly by Amorim. But my point is that he's only played well for a couple of months, but Scott's been playing well all season. Anyway, Hill will take a long throw from this right-hand side. Headed away by Strike, back in by Christie, flicked on by an Evan Nielsen, and that's not far wide. There's a half chance for Evan Nielsen there. On the bit of a improvised bicycle kick. quite far wide in the end, but hits it sweet enough. Not the best passing by Leeds at their back there, but they get away with it. Find Calvert-Lewin who flicks it on. But Bogle fouls. True fair. What we all saying about Liam Senior getting sacked then? Chelsea, what we're saying, chat. Put your opinions about Chelsea into the live chat, or about Liam Senior in the live chat, whatever. That's the topic I think we should discuss now while the game's... It's not a bad game, to be fair. After 11 minutes, 0-0. It's the ball's getting moved about quickly. I think Visinha was doomed. I quite liked him, actually, at Hull. When Visinha was at Hull City, I quite liked him. I quite enjoyed watching Hull. He had a good team. Narrowly missed out on the playoffs. Felt it was a bit harsh to sack him. Went to France, done well over there, although I didn't watch his football, so I'm saying he'd done well in terms of the black and white version of it. But Chelsea fans never took to him. Chelsea fans didn't want him at all. As soon as he was in, they were complaining that they'd hired a yes man. But the absolute nonsense he came out with just... It was a bad fit. It was just a case of when's he going to go. It's gone now, 5 games to go. Be interesting to see who to get in. He's going to have to get his next job right, the senior. He doesn't really have the credit in the bank as other managers do. Do you know when this at Tuchel, someone was always going to appoint him eventually? Like, the senior hasn't really got that CV yet to go get another top job. It's a little bit similar to Frank Lampard, perhaps. He's probably going to have to go back into the Championship and try and impress in that division and get a team promoted. And this is where I appreciate his move was heavily influenced by having the same employers in France as at Chelsea with Blueco. But when you're an upcoming manager, you've really got to get your moves right. And if you're going to go to a big club, you've got to get it right. You've got to get the timing right. You've got to get the club right. Because you might only get one chance at it. And he's going to have to go away and repair himself. Like David Moyes, he did fantastic at Everton. Went to Man U, got it wrong. Hasn't had another top job since. Potter's not going to get another top job. I'm not sure Visinha will. I'm not sure Thomas Frank will either. He had his opportunity at Spurs and blew it. I'm not sure he'll get another top job. Anyway, let's have a little look. See what you're saying. Kimbo said, a day with Visinha did sit on the arse and take wages for the next 5 years. And they're saying apparently he gets 4 million, so not bad for 4. I've seen rumours he gets 24 million. Ryan saying, not surprised he's been sacked. Chelsea were a basket case. Connor saying it's the right decision. Matt saying Chelsea's a mess, but how do you compare it to West Ham? It's a different mess though. The thing is, here we go. Bournemouth coming forward here with Brooks. He cuts it across, and it's well defended by James Justin, keeping an eye on that and putting it possibly behind out for a throw in. But he had Krupi and Tavernier behind him, so he was sort of in the middle of the two. He did well there, Justin. Well done. Good covering back that. Bogle was getting outpaced by Tavernier there a little bit. Ray saying it was never going to work at him there. Players at Chelsea always down tools. Connor saying didn't help himself with press conferences and weird phrases. I agree with that. I agree. When you go there and you start churning out stuff like that, you're just painting a target on your back, aren't you? You're giving people sticks to beat you with. As Hill takes the long throw away by Calvert-Lewin, back towards Hill though. Sends it straight back in. That's a good one, but Calvert-Lewin heads that way again. Senesi puts it in, blocked. Corner kick to Bournemouth. Jonathan saying, more confident now. Chelsea can do us an unintentional favour. Fingers crossed, we're going to need them to. Connor saying he's got to go to the Championship like Lampard. I completely agree. Ryan, if we got relegated, we would take the senior. Not really. I would have pre-Chelsea. Like post-Hull, I would have taken him. I was really impressed by him at Hull, but I don't know. I think he's really damaged now. But as I say, I don't think Rossini's Premier League ready or even Premier League quality. Martin saying I was worried to keep him with Spurs coming up, hoping to get a bounce. Yep, we're going to need them too, don't we? Corner, this is a good one actually. Do you know it would be a good job for them? Leicester. And it's flicked away by a strike. Dangerous cross that. That was a good corner, that. I agree with Connor, actually. I mean, Leicester's just a different conversation altogether, isn't it? Justin can't believe we lost that Chelsea team under his senior. Simon saying, hard to warm to his senior with his corporate management language. Respect the ball crap. Perfect company for Potter and Southgate. Yeah, he made himself a bit of a meme, didn't he? Anyway, Hill with a long throw from the left-hand side this time, but it's punched away by Darlow, should I? No players punched it. That's poor by Ryan Christie. Aronson picks it up, gives it to Okafor. He breaks away from Ryan Christie and he goes past Jimenez. The Bournemouth right back had to take a booking and let him go, and he's decided to let him go. Leeds are up the pitch now. We haven't seen Leeds venture forward too much just yet. It's Bournemouth, I think, have been the better team in the opening stages. As Goodman crosses it, but it's hooked away by Truffert. I think Leicester City now, because they've basically already borrowed against the parachute money they're getting from the Premier League. And as a result, I believe their TV revenue money is expected to be at around about £2 million next season. 2 million. They've gone from turning over, I don't know what they were turning over, I guess 150 million, with about 115 million of that coming from TV revenue. When they were in the Premier League, their TV revenue would have been about 115 million or something. And now it's going to be 2 seasons later, it's 2 million. That is rough. That is rough. To some extent, that's the problem with parachute payments. You know, it's there to soften the blow of getting relegated. But what happens if A, you get relegated again, and B, they've just borrowed against it. They haven't even got the parachute payments. They've just taken out loans against the upcoming parachute payments. Just a really, really bad club. And Chelsea are going to be doing the same as well. Chelsea's loans are spiralling at the minute. The interest they're accruing is ridiculous. They better hope the current owners are willing to be there for a while and stick it out and fund it. The minute they leave, that's Chelsea plummeting. The thing is, Chelsea can sell a load of players and sort themselves out. Sell João Pedro, sell Cole Palmer. And yeah, they need to replace them, but you did bank comfortably north of 100 million just for those two in particular. Anyway, Alex Scott goes back to his keeper. 19 minutes gone. Connor saying, Fabregas is decreasing. No, you can't go there. I've mentioned it before, but I'll say it again. Fabregas, and this is dirty as a West Ham fan, Fabregas is my all-time favourite non-West Ham player. I know Arsenal, Chelsea, I know I shouldn't, but I just absolutely loved him as a footballer. I fell in love with Cesc Fabregas as a footballer. The way he played football, that was my kind of football player. I admired him a lot. And I like him as a manager at Como as well. I think he's doing a great job. Now they've got a big budget. They're spending money, bringing in top players. Like Nico Paz is just unbelievable. I have actually, them and Napoli are the only two Italian teams I'll watch. I won't watch any other Italian team, and it's because of Fabregas. I'll be sad if he goes to Chelsea. I know he's going to rock up in the Premier League one day, and I don't know where he's going to go. My suspicion is, I'll say it here. This won't be a you heard it here first. I'm sure other people have said it, but I haven't seen anyone else say this. But I'm sure it does exist. I think Arsenal should go for Fabregas this summer if they don't win the Premier League or the Champions League. They don't win one of those, I think they should sack Arteta. Because he spent about £1 billion and he's won an FA Cup with a squad that wasn't his. And I think Fabregas would go there. Maybe he wouldn't win the Premier League title, but I feel like Arteta's had long enough and enough money. Bournemouth coming down the left in a minute with Trufer, and he goes back towards Senesi. Right, let me do this bloody logging in and out thing again. I keep forgetting to text them and say, excuse me, the comments keep breaking. Anyway, I'm back in now, so that should be all good. Oh, there we go. Sorted. Right. Now I can click on comments again. Maroon Man, thank you very much for joining us. F1 is saying, I don't understand why the PSR and FFP, etc. are set up as they are and don't stop clubs taking out these stupid loans. Because the PSR, and as it is now, it doesn't actually take into consideration loans. It's to stop. What it is, it's PSR, in my opinion, PSR isn't to keep clubs financially healthy and financially stable. In my opinion, it's to stop clubs spending a load of money on players. You can spend a lot of money, you just can't spend it on players. So PSR take into consideration what you spend on players, transfer fees, wages, agent fees, but they don't actually take into consideration, like, what's excluded from PSR are things like what you spend on the academy. I was going to say the women's team. I'm not 100%. I think that's true, but I'm not 100% sure. But like what you spend on like the academy doesn't count. And there's a player who went to Derby County whose dad may have played for West Ham United once upon a time. And Derby County couldn't afford his wages. It would have put him over the limits of FFP. So they hired his mum as an academy scout. So they paid the player wages in line, in keeping with the club, and then hired his mum as an academy scout because that wages don't count towards PSR, or FFP as it was. So there's always ways around it. The football regulator, the government coming in and getting involved with the regulator, that's supposed to protect clubs financially going forward. Dan saying this Leeds side is not losing to Spurs and West Ham. Don't say that, Dan. We might be relying on us winning. Paul, for those just listening, could you give a recap on the game? Yeah, Bournemouth, I think, have been a better team thus far, but it's been quite comfortable for Leeds. They haven't gave up any major chances just yet. There's been quite a few fouls, and there goes another one by Krupi Jr. James Justin not happy. Krupi's going to get a yellow card for his challenge on Ampadu there, who's still down, actually. And this is exactly what Leeds United don't want with an FA Cup final on Sunday. They don't want any players getting injured, but especially someone like Ampadu. But Krupi's picked up his yellow card. But the game, not loads to speak about yet. I think both teams have looked comfortable, but I think Bournemouth have had more of the ball, Paul. I don't recall either keeper making a save yet, but I've been looking at the screen a lot. Martin saying that Leicester team last night is full of quality players on massive wages, can't get rid of them, so don't know what they do. Yeah, I don't know what they do either. Harry Winks is on 90 grand a week. 90 grand a week he's on. Who's going to buy him? No one's going to want him. And if he's on 90 grand a week, I don't know what his contract situation is. I don't know if he's still got another year to go. But if he does, and then Leicester, let's just say Leicester accept a free bid for him. Someone said, I'll have him, but we're not paying you a fee. And Leicester say, yeah, that's all right. He might say, well, I'll have 70 grand a week or I'm not moving. Now, obviously, that club's going to go, no chance. He's going to say, well, I'll just stay at Leicester. It's a little bit Joe Allen at Stoke City. Joe Allen wouldn't leave Stoke City when they got relegated. And he was there on massive wages for quite some time, just ran his contract down. Brian 100% agrees. I think they might sack Arteta if he wins nada. Justin saying Arsenal getting Fabregas, Liverpool get Xabi, Arteta going to Real Madrid. You'd get a good job. Arteta would get a good job. Connor saying they'd have to release him. Yeah, but you've got to pay them to leave. As Croupie's on the ball at the minute, gives it to Ryan Christie, looks for true fair. Oh, just a little bit too much on it. Goal kick to Leeds United. Well, 26 and a half minutes gone on my one. Still 1-0 Man City, which is the more surprising one. I thought they would have made it 2 by now, bearing in mind that they'd bang one in after 5 minutes. Anyone watching that game, what's it like? Is City peppering the goal, or are they just keeping the ball? 1-0 up, that'll do us. I doubt it'll do them, but you get what I mean. Are they slamming that goal, trying to get the second one? Scott saying, Leicester dropping to League One more shocking than Spurs getting relegated to Championship. That's an interesting question. Chat, for anyone watching, for anyone listening and watching, answer that question. Put it in the live chat. Which one do you think is more shocking? Leicester dropping to League One or Spurs getting relegated to the Championship? As Tavernier cuts across the box, was cowed by Biol. Corner kick to Bournemouth. I think the decline is obviously more rapid with Leicester. You know, literally 10 years ago they won the Premier League. Now they're getting relegated to League One. But I feel like the surprise is actually Spurs. I think that's the bigger surprise because Leicester have been in League One more recently than Spurs have been in the second division. Alex Scott puts the corner in, headed away by Strike, and it comes to Jimenez outside the box. He's going to have a dig. No, he doesn't. Gives it to Christie, who crosses it. David Book, he crosses it straight through to Darlow. Ryan says, I think Spurs getting relegated to Championship would be more shocking. Renditz is saying Leicester City playing MK Dons next season. Didn't expect that. And F is saying Spurs getting relegated. Connor answered my question regarding Man City, saying they're passing the ball around outside the area, just firing shots at Dubravka occasionally. And Fez are saying Spurs will be the biggest relegation in the history of the Premier League. Dark Star, what do you think? Chelsea might play now in FA Cup semi and not Leeds out. Might mean they have to play to beat Spurs. Yeah, I'm hoping that. I'm going to do a video with Gonzo tomorrow about the senior and what it means for West Ham, the domino effect. Quinn saying Spurs getting relegated would be more shocking. Leicester being in League One within the last 15 to 20 years. Biker says as bad as each other. Hamilton saying I don't think so. Leicester been outside the top tier many times. Spurs have been in the top tier 50 years. Okafor just goes down the left-hand side, overruns it, goal kick to Bournemouth. Simon saying City well on top, Silva running the show. Burnley had 3 good attacks on the way. I tell you what, do you not think Bernardo Silva's like... I don't know how to word it. At the start of the season, or last season, I thought he looked quite slow and I thought he was struggling a little bit. But over the last few months, I think Silva's been one of the best players in the league. I think he's proper, turned up recently, Silva. I don't know if it's because Rodri's next to him, because they've got Doku in the team, Semenyo in the team, so there's a little bit more pace. and dynamic, whereas last season they had like Savinho and Gundogan was there, wasn't he? So it felt a little bit slow and ponderous from City. So I don't know, maybe just adding Semenyo's helped a little bit, and Rodri returning from his injury. But I think Bernardo Silva's been incredible over the last couple of months in this title fight. Third man run saying back in the day when Southampton could no longer afford to pay Peter Shilton his own Derby for 500 grand and gave him all the fee to Shilton to settle the contract. They're going to have to come up with something creative. Scott saying, I think he was the one that asked the question, saying, I think it's the fact that Leicester won recent big trophies. That's all I'm thinking. Yeah, I mean, they won the Premier League title 10 years ago. They won the FA Cup. It's a fair question. It's definitely one of the bigger missed opportunities, isn't it? Not capitalising on that. Ryan, can you get a big plaque that's Tartan Geo and your same for Hammers Chat added to your setup? I don't want one. I want the YouTube play button you get for 100,000 subscribers. That's what I want. As Trufer cross it towards Evan Nielsen, but it's headed away. It comes back to Trufer. But his shot's down the throat of the goal into the hands of Darlow. Alex Scott on the ball for Bournemouth at the minute. As Jimenez goes long down that right channel towards Evan Nielsen. Gets his head on it, but goes to Tanaka. Ampadu, that's a well-taken ball by Ampadu, just pouncing on that loose ball. And Alex Scott flies in on Tanaka. Fair challenge, says the referee. But Bournemouth have the ball, and Trufer comes away down this left-hand side. Plenty of room to run into as Tavernier's got Bogle pinned back. And it goes through to Darlow. Loose ball. Richard saying, I think Leicester going down is big. It has happened. Tottenham may stay up, but I hope not. Yeah, that's factually correct and very, very fair. Forward is saying, wow, Man City, top of the league. I hate Arsenal, but it's a bit of a depressing sight. Will I be doing watch-alongs for Scotland's World Cup games? I'm not sure. It's a bit late. I mean, saying that, I will be watching the games. I will be staying up. But also, I don't know how many people I'd get to watch them. Probably about 5 people. And also, I'm not very optimistic for our chances at the World Cup. So you'd just be watching me sat here, sad. Brooks gives it to Krupi. Strike gets it. Falls back to Brooks. His shot's blocked. That's too fair. Picks up the loose one. Surprise has not been a goal here. I think we've got 2 decent teams. I think Bournemouth are by far the more comfortable team, personally. Let me just have a look at the statistics. We've got the... Leeds haven't had a shot. So Bournemouth have had 4 shots, 3 corners, 57% possession. They're a much more comfortable team, aren't they? So far, Bournemouth. Hamilton saying, Scotland watch along could be good. Don't wear a kilt. I couldn't stomach you jumping up and salivating on webcam. I don't... Oh, Jimenez does well there. I wouldn't wear a kilt, don't worry. Ford was hoping City would be out of favour for a while. Certainly looking that way. Well, you might get your wish next season. They're going to have to do something with this 115 charges sooner rather than later, aren't they? And there ain't no way they're innocent on all 115. Not a chance. It's just, I think it's a case of how many are they going to be found guilty of. I suspect it won't be all 115, but I suspect that the answer won't be 0 either. I have no clue how much it'll be, but I'm confident they'll be found guilty of plenty charges, and it's going to be interesting to see what the punishment will be. It's got to be severe. Even if he's found guilty, even if Man City are found guilty of only 1/3 of the charges, they're found not guilty of 2/3 of the charges. That's still 38 charges they're guilty of. Like, how do you punish that? It's got to be severe, and it's got to be points deductions. It's got to be points deductions. Oh, Bournemouth with half a chance there. Good goalkeeping again by Darlow. He's been busy in the last few minutes. There was a deep ball in towards the back post, and SI headed it down towards the 6-yard box, but the Leeds goalkeeper smothered it well, but Krupi was trying to get on the end of it. Good goalkeeping. But I think there's a possibility Man City start the season on minus points, depending how much as Addison has a shot. It's Leeds United's first effort on goal of the evening, but is comfortably saved by Petrovic in the Bournemouth goal. Connor said, problem is if they get a points deduction, I can think they'll stay up. It depends how much, but it's got to be big. There's no point taking 15, 20 points off them, is there? There's no point at all. It's got to be a serious, depending on how many charges they're found guilty of course, but it's got to be something serious. That's true fair, but he goes in late on Ampadu, and Leeds United captain gets another knock. Jimenez comes away from Gudmundsson on this right-hand side. Third man saying he's heard the FA are dragging their feet in relation to City charges that aren't enough. Yeah, the thing is with Man City is it's 115 charges. Like it's always going to take a long, long time. It's not just one thing, and also City are arguing all of them. As Trufair comes forward on this left side for Bournemouth. And it's back to Trufair from Sinnes side. Bournemouth high out the pitch at the minute. They're certainly trying to win this game, Bournemouth. They're really pushing to try and get an opening goal. They haven't really tested Darlow that much, but I do think they've been a much better team. Jimenez just trying to create something there. But again, good goalkeeper. Darlow's been the better player out on that pitch so far. Been busy. Not loads of shots, but a lot of crosses to contend with. Daniel said that they've got to be relegated to the Championship and a heavy points deduction on top. So no going back up on one season. I think the difficulty with that is, Daniel, is it's the Premier League and the EFL. They can't automatically relegate them. They can kick them out of the Premier League, but the EFL don't have to accept them. And I'm sure the EFL would accept them. I'm sure that they said, all right, we're going to relegate them, so I know the runner-up of the playoff comes up as well. But they would still need the EFL to agree that Man City is back in, comes into the Championship. I would be content with a massive, if they're found guilty, a massive points deduction, which pretty much guarantees relegation for them next season. The issue is, like Connor said, because they're so good, you take 20 points off them, they'll still stay up. Like it would have to be something significant. Anyway, Leeds have got a free kick in a dangerous area here. Tanaka's going to take it out on the left-hand side. Plenty of players in the box for Leeds United. Ampadu, Calvert-Lewin, Strike, Biol, Okafor, Justin. They're all in the box here. As Tanaka sends this one in. It's a terrible free kick and it goes straight out for a goal kick to Bournemouth. They've not had too much opportunities to go forward tonight, Leeds, and that was a really good chance to put in a ball and test that Bournemouth defence, especially when Leeds are such a threat at set pieces too. I think sometimes you overcomplicate it. As a set piece taker, you don't need to make it a difficult one. It doesn't need to be the perfect cross. When you've got like Calvert-Lewin in the box, it just needs to be average. They'll win it. You'd have to put it on a plate for them. You just got to put it in the right area, and you can play it safe. I always think of it as like tennis. Whenever someone serves in tennis, they always go for it with the first serve, don't they? And if it's out, the second serve is not as powerful because they're making sure it hits that box and it's not a double fault. But the first one, they'll always try. And I always think when it comes to set pieces, you've got someone fantastic in the box, just do like the equivalent of a second serve in tennis. Just play it safe a little bit. As Krupi nicks it away, crosses it, falls to... Oh, Ryan Christie, what a save that is. Truffert puts it back in Krupi into Tavernier. Oh, and that's just wide from Tavernier. Fantastic stop there by Darlow. Bournemouth are definitely turning the screw. Definitely turning the screw. On Leeds United here, Truffert cut it across. It was cut out by Justin, but Krupi done well. He crossed it. Ryan Christie at the back post, but it's a top save by Darlow. And Truffert put the ball straight back in, flicked on by Krupi, volleyed by Tavernier, and just wide. Came off the Leeds player. They've got a corner. They've taken it. Scott clips it in, cleared away, headed away by Aronson, and Krupi Jr. picks it up. Just 90 seconds plus stoppage time to go at the Vitality Stadium, as Bournemouth are pushing for this opening goal. Snesai on the ball at the minute, gives it to Hill and out to Jimenez, who's in the book as well this evening for Bournemouth. There's a 1-2 with Brooks. Snesai, lovely little ball into Krupi there. I wonder where he's going to be next season, Snesai. Potentially leaving Bournemouth on a free. Certainly feels like it's likely to happen. And Snesai dinks it in, but it's good goalkeeping again. He's having an absolute fantastic evening, Darlow. That save with his foot. Absolutely wonderful. Calvert-Lewin cuts it back to Tanaka on the edge of the box. It's Tanaka, he twists, he turns, gives it out to Calvert-Lewin on the left-hand side. Goodmanson on an overlap, cuts it across, and oh! Anderson and Truffert went in for it. Neither of them got it, and the referee's given a free kick to Bournemouth. But a good play by Leeds, that one. Connor read that Kyle Walker will be staying at Burnley next season in Championship. Yeah, it's his level now. That's the reality, isn't it? You know, he's one of the best ever right backs I've seen in the Premier League. I'm not trying to downplay his legacy. I'm not trying to suggest that he's always been an average player. He hasn't been. He was one of the best right backs we've ever seen in the Premier League. But last season wasn't great for him. His loan wasn't great for him. Going to Burnley, I think it's a good move, and I don't think he's good enough for the Premier League anymore. Anyway, got 2 minutes of stoppage time added on. We're halfway through the stoppage time. Still 0-0 between Bournemouth and Leeds. Simon, no, I would have loved to have done the watch along for Sunderland Forest Friday, but I am out, unfortunately. It's something I arranged a while ago, and I did not realise it clashed with a Premier League fixture. Going to see Matt Rife, the comedian, in Manchester with a friend. So I'm gutted to be missing that game, actually. Never mind the watch along, just not being able to watch the match. So if I do a watch along on Sunday, I might not do a watch along at the weekend. But if I do, it'll be on Sunday, and it'll probably be the Leeds-Chelsea game. But I can't guarantee it. Anyway, that's half time. Bournemouth 0, Leeds 0. Let me have a look at something. And at Burnley, it is Burnley 0, Manchester City 1 at half-time. Man City have had 13 shots in the first half, 6 on target. Well, they certainly not held back, have they, as you'd expect. Right then, what were we all saying at half-time? What were we all saying? Ginger, Kyle Walker, Ashley Cole. Absolutely Ashley Cole. There's only one person that I would consider as better than Ashley Cole in Premier League, and I cannot answer it because I'm too young. And that's Dennis Irwin. I'm aware of Irwin's legacy and how highly people speak of him and how highly people that watched him rate him, but I'm too young, so I cannot say who was better out of the two. But in my lifetime, in my era watching football, Ashley Cole's the best left back I've ever seen in the Premier League, quite comfortably too, actually. I think maybe followed by, off the top of my head, Patrice Evra and Leighton Baines. I think that would be my top three, but I also didn't see Dennis Irwin, so I cannot. I can't put him in somewhere. I don't know where he would sit. Well, Dean's seen him. Dean's saying Ashley Cole's the best left back ever. Irwin was immense, but Cole was a different level. Connor saying Ashley Cole is in Italy at the moment, isn't he? I think so. I think he's with, what's his face? What's he up to? Ashley Cole. Yeah, so he's currently the head coach of Cesena. Is that how you pronounce it? Cesena? In Serie B. He's in the second division in Italy as a head coach. Forward saying if City don't get another goal, I could see Burnley pulling one back. Is it like that? Is the game like that? I can't comment. I haven't watched a second of it. Chris saying 7 points in front of West Ham. What does that say about West Ham? We fall short because we're nowhere near good enough and we have a terrible front line. Christine would pick Irwin. How much football saying depends on Burnley maintaining momentum in the second half. Don't think Pep would be happy with that performance so far. crikey, is Burnley really like pressing Man City? Are Burnley like causing them problems? I'm intrigued now. Simon saying, save your money for Friday. You might see good comedy with the Chelsea Spurs match soon. If West Ham aren't playing that day, I'll definitely do a watch along for that one. Fez are saying Burnley not making it easy for City, but City seem to be in first gear. And Tony saying Burnley playing well. No matter how great a side is, once you had pressure of something to lose or must win, things change. Get my hopes up for Burnley not losing to Leeds United next week here. Careful. And Forrest said, I'm more talking about patterns I've seen with City. They seem to go weird if they can't find that second goal. Connor said they're not pressing, just counter-attacking and winning free kicks. And Ionic saying they've had a chance just before half-time. And Hammers Football saying they had 3 chances to score against Man City. Maybe I'm watching the wrong game. I did notice like Pep didn't start Gonzalez, which felt a bit weird with Rodri out. And I have to be honest with you, I quite like Nico. I think he was good in Rodri's absence. And he's the natural replacement. I've seen that he had O'Reilly at the heart of the midfield with Silva and put Aït-Nouri at left back rather than just putting Gonzalez in. And it felt a little bit harsh. Maybe he'll play him in the weekend in the FA Cup semi-final against Southampton. And I imagine he will see the pitch tonight if the game gets into its later stages and he decides that's enough, we're going to shut up shop now against Burnley. But it felt a bit harsh not playing him. Chris saying Man City don't defend, they just throw everyone forward. I can see Burnley scoring. And Connor saying Haaland was destroying them for the opening 25 minutes and they've been fairly quiet since. Daniel thinks Leeds are getting to grips with Bournemouth. Wouldn't be a stretch to come away with something. Yeah, you can see Leeds getting a draw. I think Bournemouth were a better team in the first half, but they were starting to venture forward. And whilst they were the better team, they haven't had loads of chances. One top save from Darlow. That's about it. I think a lot of the Leeds keeper's work has been coming out and claiming crosses. Forward saying, if City do this, do we say City are bottling it? Yeah, I think you do. Absolutely. If they don't win away to Burnley, you absolutely say that. Janar saying, kind of feel a little bit bad for Arsenal. Oh, no, I do not. JK would love to see City punished for the charges, but feel the end result of the verdict won't be as harsh as it would be compared to other clubs because of top 6 buys. We'll wait and see. KJ saying, what about Julian Dixon and Stuart Pearce, both monster fullbacks? Yeah, they were good, but I don't think they were... The thing is, I didn't see enough of Stuart Pearce in his prime. Like, the Stuart Pearce I seen was in the later stages of his career at West Ham. I didn't see him, at Nottingham Forest, for example. So I find it difficult to comment on that one too much. And I think, again, Dixon, his peak was in the 90s, and I was at primary school in the 90s, so I find it hard to, again, can appreciate them and what people say about them, but I don't know, there's something about it that makes me uncomfortable when you see and or hear people that clearly haven't watched a certain player play. You watch a 20-something-year-old discussing players from the early 90s about how good they were, and you think, well, I appreciate all the videos are there, but I'm not talking about highlights. I'm thinking, have you gone back and watched half their games in full length? Probably not. So it's kind of, I don't know, I just find it hard to, I feel like I'd rather just say I've not seen a player play that much, therefore I can't really comment. Don't have a strong opinion on them, because when I listen to people speak about people, I can tell when they've not seen a player play that much. Does that make sense? So, long answer, KJ. I didn't really see enough of them to comment, truthfully. And Chippy saying, Ward-Prowse is passing sideways and backwards for Burnley everywhere he goes. Tony saying, Rodri is a big miss. Ionic saying, don't Arsenal fans have a God-given right to a title? Did you see that clip? Did you see that clip of the Arsenal fan? I feel a bit sorry for him. He's got stitched up a little bit because someone commented on his live stream like they were planning on flying over. What date would the parade be? And I feel a bit bad for him because he's replied with knowledge. He's replied with his strong opinion. Also, there was a lot of logic behind his response. And he basically suggested that if Arsenal are not in the Premier League, if Arsenal are not in Champions League final, it'll be the weekend after they win the Premier League, the weekend after the Premier League finishes. But if they are in Champions League final, you're going to have to wait another weekend. And it's got clipped and gone round on social media saying, oh, look at this lot, planning their parade way like months ago. And I feel a bit bad for that content creator because I don't think he brought it up. I don't think he decided, right, that's it, I'm going to sit on a stream and discuss the trophy parade. I think one of his subscribers put in a super chat and asked him for his opinion because she or he, I think it was a she or he was looking to book flights to attend the parade, and he was just given like an answer. And it's been clipped completely out of context and put around there, but it makes him feel a little bit, I don't know, I felt a bit bad for him, but it does make them feel a little bit stupid. Phil, saying any rumours of what Chelsea are going to do for the rest of the season? Tudor, maybe? I don't know. I don't even know who's in charge of the game. Got a semi-final on Sunday. I have no idea who's in charge. They must have announced it. Did they not announce it when they announced he was leaving? Let's have a little Google. Chelsea FC. Club statement, Lever Senior. Callum McFarlane will take charge of the head coach until the end of the season with support from existing club backroom staff. There you go. Callum McFarlane is in charge. He's the guy that was in charge previously, wasn't he? Joined, blah, blah, blah. Following Maresca's departure, McFarlane took charge of our men's team, including a Premier League draw against Man City. Okay, I think so. He's back in charge. He can't be worse than his senior, can he? Wayne saying Liverpool's Robertson has to be one of the best left backs in the Prem. I agree. Connor saying you'd be lying if you said they were the best if you never saw them anyway. So I agree. Oi, you. That's the second time you've done that, Connor. That's the second time now. Brian saying, how do you rate Cherky? I believe he's the best talent. He's just a wonderful footballer, isn't he? Nah, he's just... You can't not enjoy watching him play whenever he gets the ball. My word, when he's just... The way he just moves the ball, and he's got a little bit of naughtiness and arrogance to him as well, and I quite like it. I like players like that. With, let's call it personality. They can be a bit of a prick, right? I like players that can be a bit of a prick. Makes for entertainment, and I think it can sometimes wind up other teams and stuff. And do you remember when he did that? Who was he playing when he did this skill? And even Pep was like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" I love him. I absolutely love Cherky. Just a sexy footballer. Forward saying, I remember finishing off Arsenal's chances in 2023. Was in central London, writing his dissertation, watching it. Left elated and saw all the West Ham fans coming home. Gave out loads of iron signs. Loved that. Irish football saying, a bit arrogant too, but with that talent, he's got the rights, like when he stood in front of the Arsenal fans Sunday when he scored. Dan saying he's a fan of the channel. Everton fan. I'm rooting for you to stay up. Do you have any transfer wishes in the summer? You're not thinking, I'm not thought that far ahead, to be honest with you, Dan. But if you don't mind, Dan, how are you feeling ahead of Saturday? Can we get like your thoughts on the game and your prediction as well? There's obviously a lot of West Ham fans in the chat. You might be the only Everton one. There's a few subscribers on this channel that are Evertonians, likes of Danny. But how are you feeling ahead of the game, and what's your score prediction currently? You might worry a few fans, but you also might reassure a few fans as well. Ryan saying he's watched a video saying it looks like a story's coming out. Mark's video. Who's Mark? Oh, Carlo. That's it. Bloody hell, my brain took a minute there, didn't it? Anyway. Forward saying Everton fans will be expecting a win, surely. I don't know. We'll wait and see. That's why I'm interested to see what Dan's going to say. I hope he's still sticking around. I hope he's not just put that comment in and buggered off. So he's a big fan of the channel, so I expect him to still be here. But I genuinely want to know what he's thinking, because I'm quite worried ahead of the game on Saturday. But I am doing my video with an Everton fan tomorrow. See what he's saying. Dan reckons it's going to be a draw. Do you reckon we've got a chance, Dan? Could you see us winning? Or you're quite confident you won't get beat? KJ saying my area prediction for the weekend, both Spurs and Forest will draw, and West Ham will win 1-0 over Everton. I mean, I would absolutely love that. That comes true, KJ. Ray, do you think Coventry will stay up in the Premier League next season? No. It depends. It all depends on the summer transfer window. They're going to have to do a bit of a Sunderland, though. They're more Sunderland than Leeds, in the sense that I think they've got 3 players good enough for the Premier League, and one of them isn't even theirs. He's on loan. And they've certainly got 1 or 2 players that might be like squad players in the Premier League. There might be a few players that could maybe do a job in the Premier League, but you look at Sunderland and how, like, Kirkin, and it was good in the Championship, not really involved now, out of contract in the summer. Isidore was good in Championship, struggled in the Premier League. Rigg, he's young. I'll leave him to one side, but they do also have players that have stepped up, like Ballard and Hume. They've definitely stepped up to this level, so it's possible. But I think they're going to need to bring in a lot of players. Dan saying no Beto, no Jared Bantamweight. Is Beto definitely out? I've seen the rumours, but I've also seen rumours that the rumours are wrong. Dan saying he's never confident on games they should win. It will be a tough game. Connor saying they need a new goalkeeper. Brighton will be having him back. Yeah, but I've seen Brighton linked to Trafford, so that'd be interesting to see what happens there. Exactly. Chippy, surely Everton are a stronger team than its parts. They aren't that special. Well, Beto out, who isn't the best striker in the Premier League, but he seems to be in a decent nick at the minute. But Barry's absolutely piss. Paid big money for him too, and I don't think Moyes likes him either. But he's absolutely pissed so far. Anyway, second half's underway at Bournemouth. Saying that, as bad he is, he's still better than what Wolves have got with Adam Armstrong up front. As Leeds go straight on attack. And there's been a sub at half-time for Leeds United. Joe Rodon coming on for Bogle, and you'd assume there's an injury to Bogle, given that change. Maybe he just prefers the 3 centre-backs at centre-back and Justin going to right wing-back as Anderson comes forward here. Pass 1, pass 2. Still Anderson gives it to Okafor. Can't sort his feet out. He sort of gets a shot away. And I think that's a corner for Leeds United. See what Leeds United can rustle up here. Oh, it's a goal kick. Never mind. Some West Ham fans saying they're a little bit optimistic. I mean, fans are saying he's confident we beat Everton. We'll take that all day, every day. I don't have your confidence, but I'm not. Actually, I am dreading it a little bit. I'm a big admirer of Everton. I think they're excellent under David Moyes, unfortunately. And Daniel bets Wrexham will be in the Premier League next season. I can't see it. I can't see it. I think they might qualify for the Premier League next season. I don't think they'll come up this year round. Be interesting to see who finishes second. Let's have a look at the Championship scores. I assume Ipswich are beating Charlton, but let's have a look. They're drawing currently, but are 1-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday, which is a surprise to absolutely nobody. But Ipswich drawing 1-1 away to Charlton. It's between Wrexham and Hull for that 6th spot, really, isn't it? You can't see Derby doing it, but I don't see Hull doing it either. I think Wrexham will finish 6th. I think they'll be in the playoffs, but I just don't think they'll come up. Anyway, Bournemouth nearly scored. It was a header by Strike trying to head it out and it went wide. Corner kick to Bournemouth here. I'd be surprised this game finishes 0-0. And it goes by Brooks. Headed away by Calvert-Lewin at the front post. It falls to Scott, but his shot goes well high over the bar. Corner reckons it's going to be... No, he doesn't. He's talking about Ben Johnson getting a game, and someone said... Yeah, it's Simon. Simon said, looks like Millwall for second of easy fixtures. Agree. Southampton dropping points last night was massive because they were the ones that were really just steamrolling everyone out the way. And I think my money would be on Southampton coming up in the playoffs. That's where my money would be. As Okafor gets there before Hill, he's done well there, but it's good defending by the Bournemouth centre-back. Very calm, gives it to Jimenez and back to Hill. Maybe giving the game a kiss of death, but I just cannot see this finishing 0-0. I think it's been quite open. I don't think either team's been defending too deep. I don't think it's not been too boring either. I think there's a nice tempo to the game. I think it's quite open. And I'd be surprised if it's finishing 0-0. A draw would be a good result for Leeds United here, though. Put them on 40 points, I think. Like I said, too stressed. I think they're staying up anyway, but I think they do just need another point just to be safe. As Tavernier comes away from Ampadu, crosses it. Evan Nielsen can't get there, but Brooks goes down. He's wanting a pen, and this could be a pen. Goodmanson challenged Brooks he's given a goal kick. I mean, they're going to have a look at this one. They're going to have a look. That was a lovely ball by Tavernier right across the face of the goal. And Brooks was coming in at the back post, and Goodmanson went for it. And Brooks has gone down and it hits Brooks and goes out. But let's just see if there's contact from Goodmanson on Brooks. And if there is, you'd imagine it's got to be a pen. Bit of a strange one because Goodmanson's leg is between Brooks. I mean, there's no penalty. Play is continued, but it's one of them. You feel there must be contact, but you can't really see contact. Ipswich have scored against Charlton according to Elan, so it's 2-1 Ipswich now. I think had the referee given that as a pen, I think it would have stood. I think it's one of them VAR decides it's not clear and obvious. We're not getting involved. I couldn't really see the contact, to be honest with you. Let's have. I mean, it's already in slow motion, but I don't think there's enough contact there. I don't think he's... I always look at the legs. It clearly pushes him, but I don't think it's not enough. I agree with what other... Upton Park are saying never a pen. Paul saying he was hunting for it. It would be soft. I agree. Not a penalty for me. Simon saying Burnley playing very positively and still fighting. Well, hopefully fucking Burnley want Arsenal win the title or something. They decided to turn up now, have they? I've kept saying Burnley are going to do something. Burnley are going to do something between now and the end of the season. I think they don't lose every game. And I think they might get something. It might just be a draw, but I think they'll upset someone. I just didn't have it down as being Man City, potentially. Fark is very animated on the touchline. I think he can usually be quite cool. Fark, like calm. I think he can be quite calm, but he's very animated there as Calvert-Lewin and Sinessa get a talking to after their first physical battle. Another ball in by Trufer. Kloopy flicks on. Brooks knocks it down to Evan Nielsen. It's Ryan Christie. Good block by Strike on the edge of the box. Bournemouth pushing. Yeah, there's got to be a goal soon, surely. I hope there is, just to spice it up a little bit. It's an enjoyable enough game for a 0-0, in my opinion. I appreciate someone said earlier it was a bit boring, but actually I think it's all right for a 0-0. Tavernier up against Rodin, whips it in. It's a lovely ball. He's the second delicious cross he's sent in this half already, Tavernier. A bit old school, having a left footer over on the left wing. But I'll tell you what, when you can cross it like Tavernier, it's not a bad idea. I miss it sometimes, that type of football. I think sometimes it's way too, we must play like this and score like this. And actually, I think sometimes just being a bit direct, like what Tavernier's doing, isn't a bad idea. But then again, I'm very pro get a centre-back up. If you need to go over 5 minutes to go, get your centre-back up front. That's a lovely ball because if a Kloopy just couldn't get there and it goes through to Darlow. And again, it's another nearly moment for Bournemouth. They've had a lot of them tonight where the ball, usually these type of dinks as well. He was offside, but been a few of those passes have tried Bournemouth and they just haven't quite come off. And Darlow's had to be alert and he's been brilliant. He's my man of the match so far, Darlow. Connor said Haaland has just hit the post. Jimenez goes by Goodmanson, puts it in, headed away by Strike. Leeds centre-backs have had a good game as well. They've been put under a lot of pressure, I think, with these crosses, but they've defended well. Hill with a long throw. Away by Calvert-Lewin. He wins it again. He's done absolutely brilliant defending that front post and long throws and set pieces. Ryan Christie ducks and waves and his pass goes straight through to Darlow. Kloopy couldn't get on the end of it. You'd imagine Hyan coming on for Brooks. is a sub that you could see Bournemouth doing soon. Matt's here, a Leeds fan. So he's a Leeds fan, but regularly watches the streams and videos. Great content. Thank you, Matt. It's very, very kind of you. Not the only one. There's a few Leeds fans. Chris is a Leeds fan, I think. He's in the live chat too. Maybe he's not. Sorry, Chris, if I've just offended you. There was definitely another Leeds fan in the live chat. But anyway, more than welcome. This isn't a West Ham channel. This is a channel for any football fan. Anyway, cleared into touch there. Bournemouth take it really quickly. Really, really quickly. And the referees... See, this is where I get a bit frustrated. So Bournemouth have just taken this throw in really quickly. And the reason it's been stopped is because he feels that it was taken too far away from where the ball went out, okay? Now, it might have been taken a yard or two further forward than where the ball went out. But how often do players do that? Pretty much every throw. Especially if it goes out in the corner for the defending team. It goes out by the corner flag. They take it 5-10 yards up the line. That referee just shit his pants a little bit because Bournemouth took it really quickly and they were on the attack. Boo to the referee. Good ball that to Brooks. Cuts it back, but blocked. Falls to Trufer. He crosses it. That's blocked as well. Back to Senesi. He crosses it. Krupi gets his foot on it. Headed away by Biol. Brooks to Tavernier. Cuts it across. Goodmanson puts it behind another corner. Bournemouth are knocking on the door here. Surely there's a Bournemouth goal coming. Alex Scott will take the corner. The 8th corner of the evening for Bournemouth. Just under an hour played. And it comes from Scott. And headed away by Joe Roden at the back post. Addison keeps it in over on that far side as well. Into Tanaka, but he's out-muscled by Senesi. Great play there. And he finds Krupi. And it's in. 1-0 Bournemouth. Krupi Jr. makes it 1-0. It's been coming. It's been coming. I think they've been a better team. I think this game's deserved a goal. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed this game. I found it reasonably entertaining. Unbelievable record. Scoring again. Good goal it was as well. I don't know which Leeds player it was, but someone committed high up the pitch. I want to say it was Biol, but I'm not 100% sure. Tanaka loses it. And someone goes flying in. I think, who is that? And Senesi gives it to Krupi. That's a lovely ball. And it's Goodmanson that goes flying in. Well out of position. Senesi travels forward. The pass is wonderful. The touch is wonderful. The shot takes a deflection off Joe Roden, flies in, and I think Bournemouth deserve to be 1-0 up. Good goal. Where does this put Bournemouth in the live table? And we have a look at the live Premier League table. Now, it will be on your screen. That's the live table, the Premier League one, but it takes a minute to rotate, and I'm quite impatient, so I'm going to have a gander. This puts Bournemouth into 6th place in the Premier League. So Bournemouth, if it stays as it is right now, Bournemouth goes 6th above Brighton and Chelsea with 4 games to go. Wow. Huge opportunity for them tonight to get this win. Oh, it's just come up on the screen now. Now, they're quite far behind Brighton and Chelsea with goal difference, but they're ahead of them on points with 4 games to go. 6 is Europa League football this year. That'd be some way of bowing out his manager, wouldn't it? You get them 6th place in the league. This is why I'm convinced he's going to Bilbao, right? Because he's already decided he's leaving. Oh, and Okafor's through. Okafor! It's off the post. He's very unlucky. Very, very unlucky. He does a lot right. That is... And Tanaka wallops it into Jimenez. Hill got caught out by Okafor and he dinks it past Petrovic. And it just comes off the post. He's very unlucky, the Leeds attacker. Good goalkeeping. He's out quick. Really narrows that angle. Makes it difficult for him. Huge opportunity for Leeds, though. Leeds are going to make the changes. Nonto coming on alongside Nemecha. I know it's a geezer that I always struggle. My brain doesn't like his name. I'm just going to call him Buonanotte, right? And I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but my brain doesn't like his name. Notice he's back on the bench. I thought he was a decent January signing for Leeds, but Fark seems to hate him for some reason. I quite like him. As a footballer, as a talent. I think it's because he's got a little bit of the X factor about him, doesn't he? You know, he can score from 25, 30 yards, and not everyone has that in their locker. Anyway, Be-all, Okafor off for Nonto and Nemecha. So a change of formation for Leeds United. They're going to switch to a back four. Nonto go on. So it looks like a 4-4-2. It'll be Aronson and Nonto out wide, and then Nemecha will go up top with Calvert-Lewin. Unless he's going to... I assume that's what he's going to do. Let's have a little look. Yeah, Nonto's on the right. Nemecha's currently on the left, which feels a bit weird. Putting Nemecha left midfield, but we'll have a look. Nonto up against Trufero. He's going to be committing some fouls, isn't he? Let's see if we can get some good odds. $10-1 for 2 fouls. That'll do, mate. Right, Willie Nonto to do 2 fouls, 10-1. Anyway, Jimenez went down under Goodmanson's challenge, and I think, you know, Leeds are saying, well, that's a dive, and Bournemouth are saying, well, that's a pen. But he's on the yellow card, so it's one of them. He's going to have to be careful, Jimenez. If the referee suspected he'd dive, but you've got to be a real brave referee to give someone a second yellow card for a dive. You've got to be really confident you're correct. Ampadu on the ball, just dropping a bit deeper for Leeds to receive it from his goalkeeper. He's found Aronson in a nice bit of space. That's a great pass. Really opened the pitch up for Aronson. Gives that to Goodmanson on the left. It goes by Brooks. Swings it in. It's Nemecha. Brings it down and hits it. Well over the bar. Goal kick to Bournemouth. Got a bloody lid on. Sup here, Hyan coming on for Bournemouth. And he will replace David Brooks. "66 minutes gone. Bournemouth 1, Leeds United 0. Rodon wins the header, down to Ampadu to Nonto. Pick the ball up or something. I need you to commit 2 fouls, son. Finds Aronson, out to Nemecha on his left. Cuts in, cuts back. Oh, his shot's blocked. Good play by Nemecha. That's another spell. He's proven to be a bit of a handful since he's come on. The first time he brings it down well, shows his strength. At this time, he's one-on-one with Jimenez, cuts in and goes back on the outside. Gets his shot away, blocked by Hill. Good play. Added a bit of threat to the Leeds attack, which is something they've been lacking up until now. Ampadu will take the long throw. It's a good one. Rodin flicks it on. It's bouncing around in there. And Anderson is Nemecha. Still bouncing Nemecha again. Nonto. It's in. 1-1. Bournemouth 1. Leeds 1. Nonto with the goal. Bournemouth never dealt with that at all as it was bouncing around it there. And the Leeds players were the ones getting on the end of all the loose balls and second balls and just trying to make something happen. Long ball in by Ampadu, flicked on by Joe Rodin. Anderson clatters into them, chests it down. It's Trufer heads it. Nemecha just lays off Nonto, takes a shot, hits Hill and goes in the back of the net. Well, it's an own goal. There's no way you can call that Nonto's goal. I think he's firing it just into the 6-yard box, hoping someone's going to divert it goalwards. And unfortunately for James Hill, he did. What are you having a look at here? Well, he's given the goal. I didn't see anything wrong with it, so I don't know what they were looking at. Anyway, Bournemouth restart the game. Nemecha puts the ball in. It's cleared away. Anderson picks it up. Still Anderson. Up against Jimenez. 20 minutes of normal time to go. Nonto's there. He cuts it back, but Alex Scott intercepts it well. Dribbling it out from the box, giving it to Trufer. Christie's in a bit of space here. And he gets fouled by Aronson. Or Tanaka, rather. Apologies. Hello, Kurt. Thank you very much for joining us. Vister, do you think 39 points keeps you safe? I'm not sure. I think 40 does. Anything less is making me nervous. That's a risky ball by Darlow, but it worked straight into the feet of Ampadu. Nonto's on the ball now. That's a nice pass to Aronson. He's got behind Alex Scott. Goodmanson on the overlap to help out Nemecha on the left-hand side. He uses him. The cross comes in and is put behind for a corner kick by Hill. Leeds have reacted really well to going to goal down. The subs from Fark were quick, and Nemecha and Nonto both made a big difference since coming on. Really two good positive subs by the Leeds gaffer. Tanaka will take said corner kick. Plenty targets in there. No be-all anymore, but Rodin and striker in there with Calvert-Lewin and Nemecha. But it's a poor corner. It's headed away by Evan Nielsen at that front post and out for a throw-in to Leeds United. Just going to take a minute as Ampadu has to jog over there and go get the ball off the cone. As Bournemouth are going to make a couple of substitutions themselves, as Tyler Adams and Adley. Don't know his first name off the top of my head, but it's definitely Adley. Him and Adams are set to come on for Bournemouth. You'd imagine to replace Ryan Christie and probably Krupi. That would be my two guesses. As Nonto battling away with Trufer, the Bournemouth defenders come out with the ball, gives it to Christie, releases Hyan over on that left side, but there's too much on it, and it goes out for a throw-in to Leeds United. And Leeds let off the hook there a little bit. Nonto got caught on the ball, and it gave Bournemouth an opportunity to break. Didn't take advantage of it as Krupi Jr. leaves the field, as does Ryan Christie. Look at that. Nay? Look at that. 3 Bournemouth subs, and I've called all 3 of them. Adams replaces Ryan Christie as the armband goes to Alex Scott. And then Adley comes on to replace Krupi Jr. I suspect Tavernier will go into a number 10 role, and Adley will come out onto this right-hand side. It certainly looks that way. As they've given it, Leeds have given it to Tavernier. He's under pressure here, but it goes through to Darlow, who releases it pretty quickly into Adamson. He's under pressure by Jimenez, but the Bournemouth defender makes a good tackle and it comes off. Adamson goes out for a throw into Bournemouth, which should take 16 minutes plus stoppage time to go at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth 1, Leeds 1. I still sense there's going to be a winner in this game, or certainly at least one more goal. I still suspect we're going to see another goal. Since Bournemouth scored, it's all been Leeds, really, but Bournemouth have still been trying to hit them on the counter-attack, and they've looked dangerous at times. As it falls to Hyan, that's poor defending by Rodon, and then it's good defending by Rodon to make up for his mistake as Leeds cleared it. Hill fizzes it into Tavernier, who gets away from Ampadu. Good play there. That's a good ball to Hyan. He goes for goal. Saved by Darlow for Alex Scott. Tanaka gets in there and gets put behind for a corner kick. More dangerous defending by Leeds United. Hyan doesn't require much invitation. A really tight angle, but he took the shot on, and all Darlow could do is parry it into the middle of his box. 15 minutes to go. Alex Scott has gone out there to take the corner kick. And it goes by Scott. It's Hill! And it hits the roof of the net, but it wasn't really troubling Darlow. It was a bit of a looping header from Hill. I think it might come off the Leeds player, actually, or Hill's shoulder. Certainly it wasn't a clean connection. Would explain the loopiness. Anyway, goal kick to Leeds United. Dennis, a Sunderland fan, saying a 1-1 draw is a good result for him. Absolutely, it would be. I can't believe it's still just 1-0 Man City. I was convinced they were going to absolutely wallop them. But it's a similar time at Turf Moor, and it's still Burnley 0, Manchester City 1. It's Tavernier gives it to Jimenez and out to Adley for the first time on this right-hand side, up against Goodmanson. Gives it to Tavernier on the edge of the box. Not the best ball to Tyler Adams, and gives Leeds United the opportunity to clear it. But Bournemouth deal with it really well on the halfway line after that clearance. And Senesi comes forward with it. Aronson with a bit of a lazy challenge, but the Bournemouth centre-back comes away with it, puts it in towards Evan Nielsen, head away by Strike. Adley picks it up, cuts it back to Scott. And it's straight down the throat into the hands of Darlow. Bournemouth have weathered the storm after Leeds scored and they had the momentum and they had a few more attacks, Leeds United, and Bournemouth have sort of seen it out a little bit and they're back on top at the minute. Simon Zay and Burnley are still fighting, dangerous on the counter-attack, and they're defending well. Oh. Apologies, everyone. It's not you, it's me. It's actually Grace, to be fair. We have a 1-year-old that just will not sleep the entire night at the minute. She was in a routine, and then she was sleeping, then she was teething, then she took a little while, but she got back into routine. And then she had more teeth come through, and since then she's not gone back into a routine. And it's very frustrating. Anyway, Hyan's committed a foul on the edge of the box. The Leeds United box, that is. Not a dangerous free kick coming up. Dennis, in case you're not watching the live chat, Simon is asking if you think 09 will start on Friday or if there's any news on Alderete. Aronson gives it to Nonto on this right-hand side. He gives it to Ampadu. To Aronson, back to Nonto. Good play by Leeds down this right. Aronson goes down. Nothing given as Adams does well, actually, just to take the goal kick out of that situation. Senesi feeds it into Ryan Christie. That's Marcus Tavernier. Sorry, that's a fantastic pass and take by Tavernier. Travels well, gives it to Hyan. Adley's on the move. His cross is cut out by Rodin, and it's a corner kick to Bournemouth. That was a great, great ball. That was into Tavernier there. We've seen some really good play passes from both teams as well. There's been some good passes from Ampadu in particular, just breaking the lines, just playing their attacking players in behind the midfield so they're facing the defence. It's been a good game. I've really enjoyed this one, actually. Corner kick to Bournemouth. We still might see another goal yet. I suspect if we do, it will be for the Cherries as Alex Scott whips it in, but it's headed away by Nonto, the shortest player on the pitch, at the front post. But Scott picks it up. He runs at Nonto, puts a cross in. And Senesi took it away from Hyan. Hyan just went to pull the trigger, and Senesi's just got his toes on and taken away from his winger. Bournemouth come again. And Senesi feeds it through to Evan Nielsen. What a pass that is. And he goes past Darlow, but it's good covering from the Leeds defence. Wasn't the cleanest connection by Evan Nielsen, but that pass was absolutely... Senesi is the best ball-playing centre-back in the league. I'm not sure he's trying to pass it to Evan Nielsen, in fairness. Looking at that, I think he's looking for Tavernier or Hyan. It doesn't quite work out, but Evan Nielsen got there just before Darlow done. But the Leeds keeper was quick and strong, and Strike was there on hand just to clear it. Long throw from Hill, in it comes. Senesi flicks it on, and Darlow gets his hands on it, but the referee said it's gone out. And I think it's a goal kick anyway. Sean Longstaff getting ready to come on for Leeds United currently. All right, Addison on the ball. Alex Scott wins it off him. Gives it into Adley's, fouled by Ampadu, but the referee says play on. The advantage is given as Jimenez comes forward, but strike with some really strong defending there. And a chance for Leeds United to get on the ball and get up quickly enough here. As Ampadu weaves through the midfield, but Adley puts a challenge in, and it's a throw into Leeds United. And the game will just pause a minute as Trufer is down. And it will give Leeds United an opportunity to bring on Sean Longstaff, should they wish to. Getting his instructions from Fark. I suspect he's going to take off Tanaka here, but we'll wait and see. Gudmundsson takes the throw towards Calvert-Lewin, and Tyler Adams is under pressure and puts out for a throw-in, which will give Ampadu another opportunity to put in a long throw from a good position. And it's Adamson that goes off for Leeds United as Sean Longstaff comes on to replace him. Maybe just beefing up the midfield a little bit for the closing stages of this game. Put a central midfielder on for Adamson and put him in there alongside Tanaka and Ampadu. Go a bit more of a firmer 4-3-3. Ampadu shall take the long throw. Flicked on by Joe Roden, and it's easy enough for Petrovic to claim that one, who rushes to the edge of his box and releases it pretty quickly to Trufer, but there's not loads of options ahead of him, and he slows the game down. Scott gives it to Jimenez. Adams on the move, he puts it in the box towards Evan Nielsen, and it falls to Adley. Blocked, corner kick. 5.5 minutes of normal time to go, plus whatever we get added on by the referee. Still hoping we see a Bournemouth goal as Marcus Tavernier gives it to Trufer, and it hits Longstaff. Jimenez out to Alex Scott. I still think there's another goal in this game. Adams cuts it across to Hyan! And there it is. Bournemouth 2. Leeds United 1. He's having an incredible debut season at Bournemouth. Unlucky not to start. And he's come on and potentially got the winner, which would put Bournemouth 6 in the Premier League with 4 games to play. I feel like it's fair. I feel like Bournemouth have been the better team. I think Leeds had a spell when they looked dangerous, but throughout the entire duration of the game, I feel like Bournemouth have been the better side here. And it doesn't feel like a mugging. It doesn't feel like it's against the runner play or anything like that. It does feel deserved. Game's back underway. Nonta does a 1-2 with Longstaff, but loses out in the end. Trufer plays it down that left to Hyan up against Justin. And Ampadu flies in, but it's a good tackle by the Leeds skipper. Bournemouth don't appear to be too happy with the challenge, but it looked like a good one to me. And Leeds United will make another substitution as Joel Peru is ready to come on. And that's gone all the way out for a Bournemouth corner there. That just an interception just in the middle of the half, really, in a very undangerous area, but it's bounced all the way out for a corner kick to Bournemouth. Let's see, Bournemouth can rustle up another goal here. 87.5 minutes gone. Alex Scott with the corner kick. And it goes. It's an SI. Oh, and he's hit the bar. Really unlucky. Really unlucky. Anyways, we've come to the end of the game. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere yet. I'll be here till full time, but I just want to say thank you to everyone that's joined me. I appreciate it. It's not the most spectacular game to be doing a watch along for, but I enjoyed them, and I do appreciate you all joining me and keeping me company in the live chat. I appreciate it a lot. If you are new to the channel, though, if you've not been here before, please do consider subscribing and sticking around. I would appreciate your company next time, which would potentially be on Sunday. It's given away in the middle of the park by Bournemouth and side as well to win it back from Calvert-Lewin. And the referee's given a free kick against Calvert-Lewin here. It's going to take a minute. He's in no rush to get up for understandable reasons as we approach the 89th minute on the clock. I'd imagine there's a few minutes stoppage time going to go up, but not too much. 4 or 5 would be my prediction. Plenty subs and goals, but nothing, no severe delays. As Alex Scott goes down under pressure from Sean Longstaff, and a free kick is given to Bournemouth. Final substitution for Bournemouth as Marcus Tavernier departs and Alex Toth, I think it's Alex. For some reason, Alex has naturally come out of my head and now I'm doubting if his name is Alex, but Toth, it looks like it's Toth anyway. It is Alex Toth. Happy days. Alex Toth comes on to replace Marcus Tavernier, just to solidify the middle of the pitch as we get 6 minutes of stoppage time. So there will be another 6 minutes. Plenty time for Leeds United to potentially grab an equaliser, but also plenty time for Bournemouth to increase their lead if they wish to. As Jimenez switches play to Senesi. Fizzes it into the feet of Evan Nielsen. That is a great touch. That is fantastic. What a goal by Evan Nielsen. It's 3-1 to Bournemouth, but that is an outstanding goal. The ball to Evan Nielsen is beautiful, but the first touch is fantastic. The second touch is fantastic, and the third touch is the finish. What an outstanding goal that is from Evan Nielsen. Fantastic bit of play that is. Wow. Brilliant, brilliant goal. 3-1 Bournemouth, 3 points for Bournemouth, 6 in the lead, and another assist from Senesi. If any big club was in doubt of giving him the wages or anything like that, I don't think they will be after tonight's performance. Defensively, he has pocketed Calvert-Lewin, but that pass is outrageous from a centre-back. And Evan Nielsen's got a lot to do. First touch, second touch, just beautiful football. There's a VAR check. It looks like he might be a little bit. He might just be leaning forward too much here. That would be harsh. It's offside. It's ruled out. It's back to 2-1. That's really, really harsh, that one. Anyway, Nonto on the right-hand side, he whips it in. It's Nemecha! I think it's hit the post. Or is it saved? He's hit something. Lovely ball by Nonto. Nemecha, yeah, clips the post. He's unlucky. He's made a big difference when Nemecha, when he's come on, he's made a big difference. 3 minutes to go at least. Matt, thoughts on the offside rule? Not offside unless daylight. Hate it. Absolutely hate it, Matt. I keep thinking I'm going to do a video about it. To be fair, I've missed a few videos this week. Life's just been hectic. But, yeah, I think it's a terrible idea. There's a goal. If you have a look at a goal that was scored the other night in Canada, because they're trialling the rule, it's not for me. Adley gives it to Toth. Scott just rolls out to Evan Nielsen. They just take a minute here. They're just going to run the clock down here, Bournemouth. They're just passing the ball about rather than trying to go and getting that third goal. But it's poor for Jimenez. Really sloppy. That's a throw in for Leeds United. And taking a minute here with Ampadu taking the throw. He's just gone long because he's out of options, but held as well. Adley flicks it on to Evan Nielsen. Strike tackles him. Ampadu comes away with it. And Evan Nielsen kicks out at him. And he's gonna receive a booking for that. It was an intentional trip from Evan Nielsen. And just completely clipped Ampadu's heels there. And it's full time at Turf Moor. Burnley 0, Manchester City 1. Man City now top of the Premier League. Burnley officially relegated to the Championship as Hyan hoofs it clear. See, here's the thing, Simon. He says the offside rule, millimetre decisions ludicrous, should be clear daylight based. The problem is, Simon, you're still going to get the millimetres. I think you're still going to get the millimetres. It's just... It's going to go from are they in line or are they not in line? It's going to go from is there clear daylight, is there not clear daylight? I think you're still going to get the millimetres, you're still going to get the lines, and as a result, I think you're going to get teams sitting back. Like you cannot have a high line in football anymore with that rule. So if you want to see teams pushing up the pitch and attacking, I think forget it with this new offside. Because you cannot leave space in behind, because the striker can literally constantly be behind the defender, leaning forward constantly and stuff like that. I think it's going to be very, very difficult. I don't like the idea of it at all. But I'll do a video explaining, although I have just given you the summary of it. Long throw, in it comes. Scott heads it, it falls to Longstaff! What a goal! What a goal! Bournemouth 2, Leeds 2. What a strike that is by Sean Longstaff. Volley on the edge of the area. There's no time left at all here. None. Long throw comes in, it gets headed away, and it falls to Longstaff on the edge of the box. And he just volleys it first time into the far corner. Great goal. Outstanding technique by Sean Longstaff there. Tell you something, Fark's got his subs right, whether he meant it or not. But the Metra's made a difference, Nonto's made a difference, and now Sean Longstaff's made a difference. There will be a VAR here because Peru is in front of Petrovic and offside. So you can imagine Bournemouth are going to claim he's in the view of the goalkeeper. And I think he might even hit Nemetra in the arse on the way in. Not for me. There's no stopping that. I don't think Peru impacts the goalkeeper there. Fantastic goal, though. Brilliant strike. The Bournemouth bench very unhappy with the goal. I assume they're arguing because Peru stood in front of the keeper, or the stoppage time because it was over the 96. But stoppage time's a minimum, not a definitive number. It's not 6 minutes on the dot. It's a minimum of 6 minutes, and Bournemouth scored. Then it was disallowed, but Evan Nielsen brings it down and is hoofed away by Ampadu. One last chance, maybe. Senesi pumps it forward. Goodmanson heads it away, and the referee's put his whistle to his mouth, and that's the full-time whistle. Bournemouth 2, Leeds 2. Well, I called it. That was my score prediction. My score prediction was 2-0. Admittedly, I was wrong about Man City by quite some distance, as I predicted. I can't remember, 4 or 5-0 at that game, but it finished 1-0 anyway. Well, listen, thank you. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Leeds fans, you'll be delighted with that. A last-minute equaliser always hits differently, but 40 points on the board. That's Leeds United definitely safe now. A brilliant point for them, and a blow for Bournemouth. A win would have put them 6th. They're still in the race for European football. They can absolutely finish in the top 8, but that was a blow. They would have smelt 6th place tonight. And, you know, the Evan Nielsen goal, when you see a goal like that get ruled out, the quality of it, you feel a bit, as a football fan, as a football romantic, you almost want goals like that to stand, but if he's offside, he's offside. Well done, Leeds United. You know what? Good game. I enjoyed that one from start to finish. Quite open. I thought Bournemouth were the better team over 90 minutes. I think Leeds have not done a smash and grab per se, but I think they were fortunate to get a point out of that. I think Bournemouth were the better team, but an enjoyable game of football. I enjoyed it. Anyway, thank you, Bournemouth. Thank you for Leeds United. Anyway, I'm off. Thank you to you guys. Subscribe to Tartan Geo, drop a like on the video and all that good stuff. And I'll be back tomorrow with my Premier League preview and prediction show ahead of the weekend. Some big games. I'll catch you then.